We took a backroads trip in south central Washington along Forest Road 23. We saw Big Spring Creek Falls, made a little stop in Trout Lake at Guler Mount Adams Park for some lunch and a playground, went to Goose Lake, Big Lava Bed, Panther Creek Falls, and Sweeney Falls. This is a bit of a throwback video to 2020 before we started making videos about our explorations around the Northwest. But there were some pretty great places that we saw along the way, and we thought you'd enjoy seeing them too. If you're coming from the north, we recommend taking Highway 410 through Mount Rainier National Park down Highway 123. That'll drop you out by Packwood and then head west along Highway 12 to Randle. Our starting point for this trip was Randle, Washington, which is a little south of Mount Rainier, a little west of White Pass, and a little east of Rife Lake, unless you're our dad and you just can't stop calling it Davison Reservoir. The sprawling metropolis of Randle, Washington is definitely a blink and you'll miss it type of town. As you head south out of Randle, there's a bridge over the Cowlitz River with a beautiful view of it. But hey, you just left the last little remnants of what is known as civilization into the great backwoods, and that's what we like to call a wonderful place. It isn't long at all before you start seeing some pretty scenic areas that you want to keep stopping on the side of the road to check out. Technically, it's about a 2-hour trip from Randle to Trout Lake, but if you're like us, you can't help but stop pretty much about every 30 seconds to see something.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Flat Rock in the middle of the river. Another big rock, lots of big rocks around here. And for a limited time, you can get a swimming pool with a waterfall and a cave. Oh yes, and lovely decorations of stacks of rocks.
Aside from random stops like those, our first major stop was at Big Spring Creek Falls, and I'll let it speak for itself.
Hey look, I'm on an island. Flying or swimming, not sure what he's doing, but gotta watch my step here. Nice little pop out for picture taking.
On a nice and clear day, there's probably a pretty good view of Mount Adams along the way too. You get really close to it, but it was cloudy and we didn't get such a view. The closest view we got to anything about Mount Adams was a park in Trout Lake with its own name. There isn't much to Trout Lake or that park, but that's the way we like it, and it was a great place to stop, have a lunch, and let the kids play on the playground for a little bit. Because, hallelujah, it had swings. Heading out of Trout Lake is where we leave Forest Road 23 and head down 141. As we continued on our journey down Forest Road 23, we came to Goose Lake, which seems to be a prime place for fishing. But even if you're not there for that, it's a beautiful place to sit, relax, take in the scenery, listen to the sounds of nature, and you're probably going to find some birds flying around too, like this. Heading west and south now, we took a little bit of a detour over to Big Lava Bed, and as you can see from the satellite image, it's pretty big and cool. And as you saw from the satellite image, there's an interesting cone out in the middle of all of it. We didn't get quite that far into it, just a little ways off the road as we explored some of the neat lava rock. Our next stop was Panther Creek Falls, which wasn't the most amazing, but we loved the sights and sounds of water, so we definitely checked it out. Our final stop on this journey was Sweeney Falls, just down by the Columbia River. This one looks like it could have been an old mining tunnel. It only goes back so far, but here are some sights and a little bit of a video of our experience in it.
So here we are checking out this not very high flowing fall. It's late in the season, you know, we're in late August, so there's not much here for water flowing, but we did explore into there, so that's a fun part.
Even if you don't have an off-road vehicle, as you can see, almost any car can make it down this road. And it's a pretty good trip and you get to see a lot of neat things. So hope you get out there and enjoy it yourself.